Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on the Ubuntu channel. This is your program, Let's Talk Politics, a program that comes to you every Tuesday on this very platform, and we look at things, everything around politics within the borders of Zambia. My name is Lorenz, and I'll be hosting you for the next 1 hour or so. And I'm not alone, I'm with the usual Mukelabai, and we are here to review the UKA rally that happened in Samfya over the weekend, and we get the highlights from there, the lowlights from there, and everything to do with the progress that the UKA has made so far. Mukelabai, good evening, and thank you so much for being with us this night.
Kimanzi bwani sichawasa Yesu, sichawasa Bulozi, sichawasa Zambia, komulu utwela kaufela. Thank you so much. It's been a while. We have been busy working, trying to raise money. Otherwise, those monies to mitigate our current challenges, So we are back again. Mokaluswalela, you forgive us for having been off air for almost 2 weeks or something like that. But otherwise, we are here. We will never leave you. We'll be here for you. So please, you're most welcome. Join us and let us interact and talk about our politics. Tolumbaga Patrick.
As rightly put by Mukelabai, we really apologize for having not been with you for quite some time now. This was due to circumstances beyond our control. But the team is back, though the full squad. A good number of our colleagues are not with us, but we still have to go on with the program, and we expect someone else to come and join us along the way, and we hope that they make it as well. Now, into the nitty-gritties of it. Mukelabai, first and foremost, let us look at the UKA rally. Second time they are having a rally, and we start from the basics first. What you could see with your eyes, the turnout for the rally. How impressive was that?
Wow. People want to see that rally is not UKA. Sorry. You can name it the way you want to name it, just to disguise, to sugarcoat PF. That was the PF rally for the former president of the Republic of Zambia, the 60th president. And like I always tell you, many people want to see our president, how he's doing in his retirement or back into politics. So, and a lot of the people that you saw coming to his rally, most of them they were kids. They were actually school children, school going kids who want to see who is this Edgar Lungu. They talk about who is this Edgar Lungu that has been on everybody's lips. We want to see how does he look after having lost power from the time he was the biggest name, the most powerful man in the country, to a mere reduced cadre of an ex-president who has no portfolio in his party, but is using or thriving on the name former head of state. Hence, that group of young men and women who wanted to come and have a sight of a president. Unfortunately, that's how I could analyze it from my political lens. Now, from the Zambian and the patriotic lens, is that there were people that loved Wolungu and that still loves him. Hence the 1.8. Remember the votes he got? So those people have not gone anywhere. They've not vanished. Okay? They are still there. So his appearance is simply to go back and say, thank you for having voted for me, and sorry I lost power. Otherwise, let me try to give you a little bit of hope that I'm back into politics, even though he hasn't not been talking about those things. He just spoke about, because his main interest is to bash this current government so that they look bad. They look bad, and him looks like he is now coming back to save. He is Mr. Prince Charming who wants to come and save the day. Unfortunately, we are forgetting that aba mdala eva genesis eveni ba mafia tuli muno tuli tukwete lero mu Zambia lero, so as we speak. So those people that came to see him, those are part of his supporters. At the same time, there are also some UPND and other political parties, First Citizen First, other, I don't know how many groups, how many political parties are in that UKA bag. So you find all those people, they came, including the UPND, because even the UPND, they are part of the constituency. They are listening. They want to hear, what does this man have to say? You know, they want to listen, including the ministers of today, the MPs of today. Everyone wanted to listen. They were listening to Edgar Changwalungu on that particular. If they were given an opportunity to travel there, we all the Zambian ought to have gone to his rally and just to listen. What message does this former president
Okay,
of us have?
let's correct the narrative first and foremost. The rally was not an UKA rally; it was a citizens' first rally. That is for War Hat Kalaba. His party is the
Yeah.
one that organized that rally, and well, the UKA Council of Presidents just went there to drum up support. Now,
Mm.
but
Go
it
ahead.
turns out Wo Edgar Lungu is the one who seems to have stolen the show.
Yes, exactly. He did not steal the show. Kalava merely went there to introduce the former head of state, to introduce. It was, that show was for Lungu. No matter how you may try to sugarcoat this, if I ask you right now, how many people paid attention to what Kalava said? And what is being reported today of of that rally? Who is coming out? Look at the videos that are going viral. That has even made the government to come up with their press conference where did they even name Kalaba there in their press conference? No, meaning Kalaba is not a factor. Kalaba was just a party spokesperson. You know, aya mashina bale tupela papa pachintunshi or everywhere. These are just trying to be politically correct, that we are a party, that we are on our own, and those are on our, no. The fact of the matter is that the giant in this on that rally, the elephant in the room on that rally was Edgar Changwa Lungu, the 60th president of the Republic of Zambia. We still hold him high. We still respect him. However, we have not forgotten about the things he has subjected us into. We have not forgotten how he has brought this beautiful nation to its knees. We are struggling today. The current government is struggling today, not because they have failed. No, It's because there was a lot of financial discrepancies in our nation that has wrecked all departments, or even the national coffers. Right now, UPND was not supposed to be talking about going to borrow money on now good and special and lenient conditions. We were supposed to be simply taking over, running through the projects that ECL and the group left. But instead, UPND has gone back to square one, starting from the beginning, start making roads again, or rather, that we have been paid for, that we borrowed money to, that has been paid for fully. They are building hospitals that have already been built on paper. They are busy constructing feeder roads. They are paying constituencies a lot of money that the previous government was paying, but due to debts, due to mismanagement of funds or selfishness, those guys decided to put that money or channel the resources into other personal, chattels. They forgot the whole nation. Today, as we speak, my brother Lawrence, our MPs, our MPs are now have the market like the ministers or like their senior government officials in every constituencies, because our parliamentarians, they are busy commissioning roads, feeders roads. They are busy purchasing heavy machineries, the thing that we have never seen in this country, the thing that we saw probably Muliba Kaunda. That is when now things are coming back. Today we see our president, our members of parliament, commissioning ama roads, ama hospitals, ama muma places, muma constituencies. Today our MPs are loved by their people. Why? Because they are able to see that our MPs have been put to work. The only MPs that are lazy are those that are going to be, that who wants to just politicize every success or every small good thing that this government has done, and they want to bring it down, to bash it down. Today, ama MPs na wakwata market. Luliakale ama MPs twale wamona feni balia. Some of us, you can't even go and talk to an MP today. Why would you even allow an MP to come and officiate a piggery or a chicken, whatever? No. Today, ama councillors, they are really marketable in a sense that we are now able to see what our councillors are doing on the ground. Our MPs, they are back on the ground.
Let me just try to bring in such an issue. No, a lot of constituents are complaining that probably the MPs are nowhere to be seen. Talk less of the ministers under the UPND government. A lot of them are so quiet and can't even tell they are even working in the background, and looks like they have left the whole bunch of worker for the president to work on. And I was asking randomly some day, I think at work, I was asking, who is the minister of Lusaka province? People don't even know. Who is the minister for this program? People are not even aware, meaning that they are nowhere to be seen. But you are saying otherwise. What grounds are you using to come up with those conclusions?
No, you see, when you have a powerful leader, okay, and that has been that has really put his foot down on corruption, on zero, whatever, and he's very, very vocal, and he has the foresight, it will be the light, the light should be shining on him, because that's the person many people wants to focus on. But look, that success HH is getting today, those praises we are busy giving HH today, we cannot just, they have not just come on its own, with magic, abracadabra, then HH is the good man, he's working alone. No. HH has lieutenants that are busy on the ground, doing the groundwork. You don't see them, and that's why you are complaining. But they are the victory you see today. Avena Chipoka Mlenga. Avena, what's his name? The copper mine minister, Minister of Mines, Kabuswe, Minister of Justice, Minister of Foreign Affairs. They are not sitting. The Minister of Local Government and Housing, Minister of Information, and with their PSs and their directors in the government, all these government, they are not sitting down. They are not at easy, my brother. You don't see them because we are coming from a background or a culture where a minister wants to go around with a bag, sharing, giving out money, dishing out people's money as balevomba. No. The problem is, the good thing is there's now change. There's good leadership, or there's not good, but there's a better leadership. Because ngatwalanda bali good, bala kulemitwe. So they are better off than the previous, because we see that they are serious, down on the ground, busy doing the work.
Now, Mukelabai,
Yes, yes,
the
we need.
complaint from Mukelabai, are you able to get me?
I'm able to, yes, loud and clear.
All right. The complaint that has been there, even from UPND members, is that the current crop of leaders that they have right now have even stopped picking their phone calls. They will even try. There is one man I met, I think a few months ago. He said, well, he was not asking for anything, but he wanted to know exactly how he may be helped in accessing these grants, CDF. And he was contacting one of the councillors that he worked with hand in hand during the campaigns and all that. And the councillor was simply leaving him on blue ticks on WhatsApp. He says he even went to the extent of sending him his own photo in case this man has forgotten me. Let me remind him. But you did no results. And he seems very frustrated right now. And I remember giving this man a lift on one of my journeys, and not having kind words for some of the leaders around.
Yeah.
Is that what you call better leadership?
Well, that's why I'm saying it has been 3 years. It will be difficult, and it will take time for the mindset to change, because this is what also UPND are expecting. These are favored. There's nothing that is going to, how they are going to sugarcoat that they don't pick their phones, they don't receive the phones. It is favors. They want favors. And that is the recipe for corruption. Favoritism. So how do you favor your people? I'm not saying they should stop answering phone calls, but we Africans, we have a problem. I have been to Africa myself. I mean, not I've been to Africa. I am African. I know what it is when you start picking calls from people that you never even used to receive phone calls from. I know what it means. Even when they say, I am not here to ask for money, but then they dish you, they just drop a bombshell of problems after problems, compelling you to dip your hand in the pocket and whatever little money you have, and then you give. And by extending that hand, giving, I promise you, because that person you are giving, just because of the problem they've come up with, their mitigatory, whatever issues, challenges, then you get the money and give them just from your pocket, not from the government coffers. Because remember, why were these people not asking for monies or favors when they were busy campaigning together? And what has changed today? Just because they have a job. By the way, how much do these politicians get? Because when they get paid, of course, they may get a little bit of an extra, but they are leading a constituencies. MPs, they get money and they do have these helps to go and pay for funerals, pay for. It's like now we have given them a task by virtue of you being an MP. You are under legal obligation to provide a coffin when a member of your constituency has died. That it is now a legal issue. It's a legal requirement. No. Where is that MP getting that money from? His own pocket or from the constituents' money?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest on these things. During
I'm just being
campaigns,
honest.
the same people that you are talking about actually do those things that are being asked without being asked to do them. They will visit each and every funeral they hear has happened in their constituents where they want to stand. And they go and provide every single whatever is needed at that funeral. They'll do it
Yes,
without anyone asking. Now, once they are elected, they start saying it's not my job. Why did you start doing that in the first place?
no. That's the thing. That's the thing. It is now people who are taking the kindness for granted. We should not abuse the kindness of a person that has a giving hand. That now that is in authority. Now you understand why people that are serving public offices, they are prone to corruption. Today, uh, ask me or tell me, these guys who are faced with criminal charges, how many supporters are there to give them moral support or to put money together to bail them out or to pay for their lawyers? Nobody. Bene Bomani Lusambo, they are on their own, fighting the battles on their own. But when the Bowman Lusambo, they had an opportunity. I'm giving an example, by the way. I'm not saying when the Bowman Lusambo was given an opportunity to be ministers, you saw how they were busy flashing money, constituencies money belonging to the people. Sometimes they would even go deeper into their own pockets, money that they have genuinely earned. But because of the position, they wanted to show to the people. And when people see that, they will expect, even when you are not required to give, they expect this from you. And this is what is happening with the current guys, UPND. They are expecting money flowing into the pockets of who? Cadres, those we're supporting. The reason why we're supporting you, we want you to pay us, to give us money. That is not an issue. When they say, please, bazani manga ine muzani elengesa timanigwire pa petcash ya chalo nibwe nikupaseni so that mikatenge ma votes manje ngati kwabwera president winango kwabwera venango babwera bachita audit bazabu wapeze ndrama zija zimene nasevenzesa muja sizizochoka mutumba wanga nenzochoka mu office ya MP ne bakapeza tina shota muja ndine nizankala ma problems manje muli kuti mwe bantu bamene nenzopasa ndrama lelo banishita indict ba government banipasa mlando. I'm failing to account for this much. Where are those people? Kulibe Bene Lusambo, they are struggling on their own. People have the impression that they made enough money. Why? Because Bene Lusambo created that narrative They created that environment to say, Tirinandrama is Disebakasaka Kandrama, Benelungu. Today they are struggling. Why? Because even the arrest, you invite some of these problems, they were invitation to treat. They just created these problems on their own when they were in power. So these guys who are currently in office, they also know they are human beings, they are smart. They know if we continue going at the same level, the same way these guys did, tulimuchive naise mairo ndise tizange na ourselves, we fail to do it. But they are not refusing. They are avoiding temptations because it is tempting, to be honest with you. Yes, on the other side, I would simply say, guys, go out to the people. You are in those offices because of your people, the very people that voted for you, that supported you. Mingle with your people, listen to their problems. If you have, give. If you don't, don't. Nobody's going to persecute you. But ifwema Zambian twalishupa tatwatemwa no nga omuntu fyalanda no nishibamu kupangira nomba ka kangaroo court uli omuntu wakaso uli omuntu tentu muchiteso. They are now refusing moneni ule bomba fe muntu unga umo. You know, you are forgetting that people on the ground who are doing the donkey work, they are these technocrats. Technocrats. They are busy working day in, day out. And who is getting the praises? Their leader. Who is on top? It's HH. Bonse abana
Okay.
batara. So, your
Mukelabai,
narrative, I hear you. I hear you, my brother. I hear you because I was there. Please, my message is to the directors or the senior government officials, ministers, members of parliament, councillors, whatever you call yourselves. Please engage your people. Engage with your people. Respond to their requests or messages. Just engage, discuss, just to talk. Ukulanda, you are not going to spend money. Of course, we know that you spend time. Time is money. But please make room, make time for the people that elected you in those offices, because they are not,
all
those people are not going anywhere. They will be there while you are in power, and they are still going to be there when you are out of power. You need them.
Okay. I want us to go back to the rally that we are here to talk about, and uh, maybe let's hit where everybody has been interested in, words that really made the noise from the state rally, where the former president said something that really didn't go well with quite a lot of people. Uh, President Lungu says was asking civil servants to do the right thing, weigh all the instructions that they keep receiving, and they should check if those instructions are actually right or not. And he says, he makes a promise to say those who will be fired for trying to do the right thing, he will make sure they are reinstated when he forms government back in 2026. And if possible, they will be promoted. But those who want to do things that are not right because they're instructed to, he says he will follow them even in their houses to deal with them. End of quote. Now, that has not sat down with quite a lot of people. We've seen reactions from ZCTU. Labor movements have come out to condemn those sentiments, to say civil servants actually work with the government of the day to push the government agenda at that particular point, and should not be used in politics at all. Is that how you look at it?
Well, thank you so much for that question. Remember, we are coming. That's why Edgar Chagolungu is no longer the president. Why? It's because of the same way of governance. Okay? He governed
Mm-hmm.
this nation in a very ungovernable, because he was known for the threats. And those threats, they know him very well because we can tell from his cadres, the way these cadres have been subjecting people to torture, you know. We know that those threats, if something happens, Edgar Changolungu came back into power, definitely what he's saying is going will take place because he is known for that. He is known for being violent. He is known. And that's why today people are rising out to say, no, you can't say that. You don't want to entice or rather incite such kind of violent behavior, as a former head of state, knowing your history, knowing his history, because he is known. He lost power because one of the contributing factor was that he lost power because of violence, threats, and tribal, you know. Of course, there was also misappropriation of just incompetence, in short. And then here he is. That's why we always tell people to say, all the habits die hard. No matter how he may try to um, align himself to the clergymen, claiming he's holy, claiming he's the nice person, is humble, the true colors will always flash out, will always come out. So that's why I love this democracy that we have today, where the opposition are given an opportunity to go and have a rally, public rally, where they are going to speak their lungs out. And this is where now Zambian people should now sit down and see if at all these are the people that are claiming to have changed, and this is the person that claims to be holy or to be a Christian. How can a Christian come up with such sentiments? How can a person that has changed wanting to go back to his old habit before he even come back into power is fighting to come back into power, and he goes and start threatening the civil servants, that he's trying to tell them that they should not get instructions. The civil servants, they know him, he knows very well. He knows very well that he was a government, he was a president, and the civil servants that were under him were getting instructions from him. If the civil servants were not following the instructions how to go about, we saw how he retired many people in public interest. We know it's not history. The good thing is we don't have amnesia. Alzheimer in Zambia. We still remember very well. It was just 3 years ago when this new government came into power. Our memories are still intact. We even have videos where police officers, soldiers, all those people that were fired, that were eliminated or removed, are still there. They're still having testimony to speak, to say this is the kind of leadership this man provided. And he is still going back to the people and tell them what the habits that I had. Nkesami Puma, I'll come and beat you. When he says, I'll come and sort you out, he's not lying. He's not lying, because we have tested his powers before. The Zambian people knows who Edgar Changwalungu is. He calls himself a snake. It's true. It's very true that the man can sleep around. You think he is being nice. Oh, ask the people that worked with him, that were close to him, that enjoyed, that witnessed his wrath. That the man can say this today, but tomorrow can do other things. That man does not mean well for the Zambian people. To be honest with you, all his main interest is looking at his own interest and his family. That's why today, when you is asked the question, what motivated you to come back into politics after the first response, they say the first cut is the deepest. What was his first response? Is to come and protect his family from what? Stopping from helping them from being prosecuted legally, lawful. He wants to come back and stop this. Why? Why do you want to stop something that is legit? They have been charged. They are facing with, they are not guilty. They are still innocent until that day when they will be pronounced either guilty or not. They are just asked, how did you acquire this? You have no job. Just by virtue of being a daughter of the incumbent, you became this. Just by virtue of being the son of the incumbent, you became suddenly a billionaire. How is this possible? So these are questions that have been asked, and he wants to come and stop. So what does that mean? Sha?
Today we don't seem to have much time because our producer is also facing electricity challenges, and we try to make sure that we finish as early as possible. But how do you personally understand when someone tells you, "I'll come in your house and deal with you"?
That's a serious threat. If I was among the civil servants, I would rise. And that's why the trade union, they are rising against such kind of statement, especially coming from the former head of state who knows all the roots of authority, how it ought to be done. Edgar Changwalungu should have been the last person to speak. Like, let Kalava say those things. Let Fred Membe say those things, but not the former head of state, whose power we have tested. We have lost so many lives. On top of the lives we've lost, he still comes back. He has not even been given an opportunity to answer to the questions or given charges. He hasn't been charged yet for the offenses he committed whilst in office. We have not gotten answers yet. On top of that, he goes and wants to commit more crimes by threatening violence, threatening to come and harm the civil servants. And the government, the current government, is quiet. They are not even saying anything. They are quiet. They are not even remanding him. They are quiet. Then there's something wrong here. That man is the danger. That man can ignite this nation into flames. If he is left uncensored, if he's left to speak like that, because that man, he has a constituency of followers. That man can incite. That man can incite.
Let's look at Volungu as someone who maybe sometimes, personally, I felt like I should never be allowed to speak off script because sometimes things that he says will leave others with the burden of trying to explain and justify and all that. This is the same man who would come up with statements like things like that, and you hear all the party machinery trying to explain properly what he meant and things like that, and it has been a trend even when he was in power, and you see him speak like that, going off script, you know that he's going to say something that is going to that is going to make headlines, because it will be sounding very wrong. Now, should we be at a point where we kind of understand him, that sometimes things that he says are not really what he's trying to mean?
No, 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 no. Then this is what has put this nation in this trouble right now. Uluse trying to brush or to sweep uh, to sweep things dirty under the carpet so that we can have to avoid. I don't know what we are scared of. Let's name it a spade, a spade. That's a mistake he made. It was a careless statement, and he needs to retract that statement and apologize to the civil servants he has threatened. It was a threat. It was not uh, uh, hypothetically or whatever spoken. No, 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 no. He meant what he said. So I meant to believe that unless he said those things under the influence, because that's the only thing that would give him uh, some kind of, yes, because we know him. Even the statements of Uwomba Mwibala, Alia Mwibala, such statement, at one point he was on the bus, hey, I'm abusing my powers today, even though you say sometimes a kusansa, you can tell that how can you take a head of state so serious, coming up with such kind of sentiments whilst under the influence of alcohol? So that could have been a problem unless he tells us, because we know him, because that's the trend we know him for. If he comes and says, sorry, banenari korwa that day, nari nwamo, because there's no way he can drive all the way from Lusaka to Samfya, munshira mabarema, and kukaba okwaba, then baleyati no, not even kamo. And someone who we know that he is good at that in that
And
field.
one aspect that comes out for me in this whole rally is we have been hearing the UKA tell us that they are not decided on who's going to stand as their presidential candidate. They were telling us that Mr. Lungu is very humble. He has actually told them they should pick anybody else and things like that. But this time around, he says in that nice 2026 in Kesami Konka. So he get a statement or a stance where he is now positioned for
He's
this.
not lying. Chachine. He means what he says. The only thing is, the only people that are going to stop him is us, the Zambian people. The way we stopped him to hand the power to himself, that is how we are going to stop. Because imagine, had he won, the very statement he issued that Ulianga nalimu kakakare, do you think HH would be walking the street today had the Lungu won? HH ngali muchifungo na nombaline so. So Lungu, the only best way to stop such a person, mwewemba mwalilanda kale tukuchenjesha lunshi kunya pabili kumukanina tawakese take up of uti. We can't allow such a joker to come back and lead us again, to bring us atrocity. Right now, we are struggling as a nation. Why? Because we have no money as a nation to fix our problems. But government, the current government, had to sell maize in stock to pay our farmers so that the farmers can go and grow new maize to bring new stock. Unfortunately, nature took over. These are unforeseen circumstances. Nature came and took over. Lelo, they are the same chaps who are busy saying, no, mwalilete nsala. Mwali shobunga. Ukushobunga. What amataba? Blah, blah, blah. You start looking at these guys, say, You must be joking, you people. What is it that you have been told? You destroyed the nation. You abused the money. You misappropriated. Mwareshta ama helicopters. Mwareshte ndeke. Guys, the level at which these guys were going was so head. Look at the monies that we are using to distribute Muma constituencies. You 156 constituencies. All that amount of money was going umuntu umo. That's why they were managing to buy ndeke nama helicopters. No kula mayanda. That money should have been the money that should have been going to the community. Ngaebali chitekare raise ama CDF ama CDF. Ngabali kwete umutima ku bantu. But look at what they did. Ukumishinga bata pamenso baisa mikulire chiro bachita triple quadruple price ama change basenda bayabana bambo kupera bakashi bale firo kwa kubika empia bambo kupera manises nsungira kwempia makesanga bali shibyate bakabakaka. They knew lelo you want to play it humble. Umwana wapangana oloine wine olombe rich shan instead wabana bandi 99 vehicles or 69 vehicles. For what? Seriously. Olota pasoswa. Insala Muzambia insala. Tele loyamba yo. Tele loyamba. And this government, for them to even subsidize milling meal, kuleta wungawa national milling company, bazidenes, it is because of the way the previous government mismanaged our resources. We have no money. We had no money. This current government is also borrowing. Even though now they are borrowing with special conditions, good conditions with a very little bit of interest rate. Not na bale mugusenda kaloba 100% interest rate. Indalama shiria kulirako. So we are in trouble. We told you, Mweba Zambia. We told you, Mwebe Kalachalo, the effects of this carelessness, Yava PF, Andaba Edgar Changwalungu, are going to be felt in the future. Not lelo. It is a pity. Actually, we should even feel pity for this government, for the struggle they've had. They've managed to keep our heads above water. We are able to breathe. Chalo Chonseng Chaliba, we could have actually drowned. But this government has managed to put us above water. Yes.
Mukelabai, due to time, let me just give you just 5 minutes to give your concluding remarks, then we can wind down.
A concluding remarks.
Yes.
Thank you. Since I'm alone, I don't even know why you are Mulebutukira Kwisa.
Yeah, apparently we are looking at the possibility of some gadgets going off, and we might not be able to
battery. Okay, no problem. Let me be quicker. No, Mwebe Kalachalo, Zambia. What I can only say is that we have seen for the past 3 years what this government has done to us. Okay, we have seen the troubles that we have gone through as a nation in terms of the high cost of living, in terms of the drought. Things are not okay, and you know where this is coming from. There's always a genesis. When we're talking about leadership, when we want to point a finger at leadership today, that we blame this current government for having found or inherited these problems, and we are trying to give them a task. We've given them a task that they have to fix these problems that they found. Yes, they are doing it. We are able to see their heads are in the right direction. And these first 5 years, I think Zambians, we should appreciate these past 3 years. We should appreciate what this current government has done. Nga ababali muchalo mupawa balefo okwiba nga kwiba balefo aya, because they know that come 2030 in the second term nishi term yawe yapwa, so nga kuiva bakulamba okwiva next year, next term. So that's the time when we should now do what? We should also press. We are going to give these guys, let us give these guys time to finish up their projects, finish up sorting out their tabalamba nama problems yabo, nama promises yabo bachitre promise, because bali busy sorting out ama problems yashile balungu. And they are still facing that. And ichile bakalipa sana kumutima, ichile bakalifya sana kumutima abama guys abale bomba nga bali kwate mitima nono nga bali chitaka retaliate. Lelo balungu still walking the street freely, and today is even back into politics freely. He hasn't been incarcerated. What does that mean? What does that entail? Imagine if HH was the Yoweri Museveni. Imagine what Lungu could be today with all these allegations, with all these allegations leveled against him. And today he has the audacity to come and tell you, especially Imoma civil servants, when he knows that civil servants are supposed to be non-partisan. Civil servants are not supposed to indulge themselves in politics, despite them being employed and being supervised by politicians. They are not supposed to do. And that's where you go and point a finger and start threatening them. That's not okay. And that statement, Volungu should simply apologize, avoid such kind of sentiments, because such sentiments, Mr. Lungu, will keep you in trouble, put you in trouble. So my message to you, Mr. Lungu, is, sir, you have the right to remain shut up. Anything you say will be taken against you, will be used against you in the court of law when your immunity is stripped or when you are currently charged. Because when you commit a crime now, today, after you left office, you are not immune from the criminal offenses that you are going to commit today and from the time you left office. And except for the cases that you committed whilst in office. That's why today you are not, your name is not on the charge sheet of your wife for property suspect of crime. Your name is not there. Why? Because all those things happened when you yourself were in power, and the immunity helps you. And the immunity is the reason why your name is not appearing on those papers. But your wife was not immune. Your children were not immune. So your wife and your children are suffering because of your sins. It is you who created those sins. It is you who gifted them. Now you have a duty to go and protect your family. Where did you get the money? Tell the nation. Ignore the immunity, save your family. Put your immunity aside. Go to court and request to give a statement. Tell the court where you found the money, how that money came in the possession of your families for you to give them as a gift. You can relinquish. You can declare your immunity. You can simply waive the right of your immunity so that your family can be saved. Don't let your family be persecuted or be prosecuted for your sins.
Your 5 minutes is actually up now. We want to thank you for making time to be with us on this edition of Let's Talk Politics, and we want to thank everybody else who was listening in to us on our various social media platforms. We really appreciate your viewership. We also thank the man behind the controls who was making sure that this programming went as planned. My name has been Lawrence, and I was with you throughout this program. Now, remember, you are free to watch this broadcast at any time you feel like, just in case you joined us late or you missed this broadcast. Remember, it is very much available for you to view at any time. This has been Let's Talk Politics. Next week again. Thank you so much.
You too, miss.